Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today we have with us Cheryl Brause, who is the co-founder of 2bPresent. 2bPresent is a business that offers classes and workshops in the community for people of all ages and teaches them how to live a less stressful life by using mindfulness tools and practices. So, hi Cheryl.
Hi.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
I was just interested in why you decided, since you worked in the corporate world for so many years, can you tell us why you decided to leave it and begin a life of mindfulness?
Sure. Well, like everyone else, or like most people, I was very stressed out. I was always running and doing. I was a busy professional. I worked in the corporate world and then as a litigator, and I had 3 children. So I felt overwhelmed, and I felt like I was doing a lot of things, but doing none of them particularly well or really enjoying them. And so really through a yoga practice, I learned about meditation. And for me, when I learned about meditation, it was really life-changing. So it was so meaningful to me and allowing me to be less stressed and to be more present in my life and to slow down and just be happier, that I really wanted to share it with other people.
That's good. I know I've worked in the corporate world on and off for the past 3 years, and I could definitely understand that because it is very stressful. And they give you so many tasks, and then you have to balance that, and you have to see, okay, you have to prioritize.
That's right.
And sometimes it just becomes so stressful, and it really takes over your life, and then you think, okay, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong?
Right.
So I could definitely understand that.
Yeah.
And having begun a new and peaceful life, did you have to train or learn any new techniques about meditation?
I did. I'm a hard worker by my nature, so when I learned about meditation and how it helped me, I really wanted to train and learn how best to teach it to other people. So I trained in lots of different types of meditation, going on retreats, doing online courses, studying for a couple years, and I really came to mindfulness meditation. That spoke to me most. It's a very accessible way to learn to meditate and to calm your mind and to be less stressed and more focused. And so I've done a bunch of certifications and trainings, and that's what I teach.
That's your newfound passion now.
Yes, absolutely.
More than the corporate world.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And what made you decide to open a business around that afterwards?
Well, I started teaching classes locally, and they were very well received. Just sort of for fun, to be honest with you, to try to share the information that was so helpful to me. And more people were calling actually to ask about meditation and mindfulness. People were asking me to teach their children and their teenagers. Wow. And it became quite a demand for it. I even started to teach in schools. A lot of schools locally and around New York City are using mindfulness to help kids in school de-stress and learn to focus their attention. And it really was in such great demand that I decided I really needed to formalize it and make 2bPresent. And I was very passionate about being local within my own community to help sort of my friends and neighbors.
Okay, that's excellent. And it was recently National Stress Awareness Day on November 2nd. You may know about it. Do you have any tips for our viewers watching us at home on how to best deal with stress in their day-to-day lives?
I do. Well, we're all so busy. We can see it and feel it.
Especially now with the holidays coming up.
Yes, holidays are a difficult time for people. They're lots of fun, but we have family, we have to-do lists, people are cooking and traveling. It can be really stressful. So mindfulness really teaches us to pay attention, to be more aware of what we're experiencing as we're experiencing it. So that can be really interesting and informative for a healthier way to live. So we can become more aware of what we feel in our body. We actually tangibly feel stress. We feel tightness and tension. We can feel stomach upset or headaches. We can feel faster beating heart rates or fast breathing. So mindfulness helps us pay attention to that, be aware that that's happening, and then we learn tools of how to calm ourselves down.
Okay.
So I would say the #1 tool for people, if they're going to take something away from our brief discussion, is mindful breathing.
Mindful breathing.
Mindful breathing is really just allowing yourself to connect to or pay attention to just a slow, deep breath.
Okay.
And when you do that, you're actually slowing down your stress response, your fight or flight response, which is what's triggered when we're stressed out. It also helps our minds stop whirling. Often when we're stressed, our minds are sort of whirling into stressful thoughts. So if we just pay attention to our breathing, noticing how it feels in our body, and take a few nice deep breaths, our whole body can slow down, our minds can slow down, and we can really lower our levels of stress.
Okay. And for my personal use, when we want to meditate, what is the best area to do that? In a quiet room? Let's say you're in the office and you're stressed out.
Right.
Where can they just break away and just meditate?
Yeah.
Is it possible to just do it in the office for anybody who works in the office?
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things I love about mindfulness is mindfulness really you can do anywhere. In fact, mindfulness meditation really teaches us to use our entire experience as a meditation. So we can actually use the sounds around us as a meditation, just listening to the sounds. We can use our own breath. We can use the sensations in our body. How does it feel just to sit, or what do my feet feel like on the floor? So you don't really need quiet. You can really just, you're training yourself to pay attention to something that's happening, and that allows your mind to stop whirling and
to kind of zone out.
Absolutely, and just to focus on what's actually happening, rather away from all the stressful thoughts that are causing stress in our bodies.
Or potentially anxiety as well.
Absolutely. As another, helpful hint, you can just listen to music. And just pay attention to the music. And there's also lots of great apps out there that can really help people focus and pay attention and really de-stress within a matter of moments. So I highly encourage a lot of my students to use those.
I didn't know there was apps. Have you used any of the apps? Have they helped you?
I have. I don't use them because I wasn't trained on apps. I was trained to be able to do it myself.
In the moment.
In the moment, and I do tell my students that not to rely on an app because you really want to be able to de-stress in the moment when something happens and not just stick earplugs in.
Exactly.
Having said that, it's like any other training. It's really a mental training. It's like a building muscles in your brain. So the more you practice doing that with the app, you can actually learn to do it without it. So yeah, I highly recommend people practice with these short apps that are available that just help you reach that sort of meditative state just by listening.
Just by listening. And let's say you're on the go and you want to meditate and help kind of zone out with music. What do you think is the best music to listen to? Maybe classical music?
You know, it really is very personal preference. It's very interesting because I think people respond differently to different types of music. So really the goal is to help you just connect inward and whatever can help you get away from those stressful thoughts and just refocus inward on what you're experiencing. I think it really different types of music speak to different people.
Different people.
Yeah, so I think you find something that makes you feel good and just sort of connect inward to your breath and just that feeling of being calm and away from those stressful thoughts.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
And before we go, what is the best way to learn more about any events or classes that your company may have coming up?
Well, we're located in Larchmont, and we actually have a small meditation studio. So we often have classes, ongoing classes for people who want to learn introduction to mindfulness and meditation, as well as people that have taken. I probably have hundreds of people now who have trained in it. So we often offer ongoing classes as well. We do evening candlelight meditations, which is a lovely thing for the community to gather and just breathe together. So you can find out more information about all of that on my website. And you can feel free to contact me as well. I'm happy to help people find classes that are right for them.
And I'm just interested because now, since it's so popular, you have like now hundreds of students potentially. Is there like a maximum limit to the class size in your studio?
I do. I keep classes relatively small. I think usually there are about 12 to 15 people per class maximum. And I think that's important because it's a wonderful time to really connect with each other, and we learn a lot from each other.
So the smaller the group, the better.
Yeah, but so I do limit the numbers, and I like the smaller, intimate setting. But I have lots of different classes, so there's always opportunities. And if people are interested in creating their own groups, they can also call me. Sometimes 10 friends will get together and say, I'd like to try this, and we can create a private group and work with you that way.
Together. Okay, wow, that's fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us today, Cheryl. It was really informative.
My pleasure.
Definitely informative for me, and releasing and detoxing from the stress in my life, and hopefully for our viewers at home as well. So thank you for joining us in the Local Live studio today, and I also want to thank our viewers at home for watching us. If you feel that 2bPresent is a perfect match for you to help reduce the stress in your life, please visit 2bPresent.com to learn more about any upcoming events or classes. Stay tuned for more Local Live.